Hello, Revere, and welcome to our Revere Veterans and Community Show. Today we have two real veterans. They're also community veterans, but they're military veterans. I'll introduce them by age. The youngest one first is Francisco Urena, Commissioner of the Boston Veterans Service. Thank you, Francisco.
Thank you.
And Mr. Nick Poole, who's Commissioner of the Revere Veterans Service. Thank you for your service, and thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
You were a sergeant in the U.S. Marines.
A staff sergeant in the Marines.
Staff sergeant,
yes.
Excuse me. A staff sergeant. Pulling rank on me again. Okay. Tell us something about it before we go into this.
You know, I joined the Marine Corps at the age of 17, day after high school. Went to Marine Corps Paris Island for boot camp for 3 months. After that, went to combat training, became a tank commander. In between deploying to Iraq in 2005, I served at 2 American embassies in Syria and Kyrgyzstan as diplomatic security for the United States Department of State. And then from there, after my 3-year commitment with the Department of State, I transitioned back to a tank commander, where I became and deployed to Iraq in 2005.
So you did you see any actual action there too?
You know, we really did. As a tank commander and as a unit in tanks, we were in the front lines and the tip of the spear, as they call it. But yeah, action was seen, absolutely.
Well, Francisco, I got to tell you, since you were there, after you people left, it was supposed to be nice. Everything was supposed to be over, and right now we're right back there again, doing the same thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, we should have, could have, but didn't. Right? So there's so many things that we could have done in hindsight as policy, but I think we as a community, as a government, wanted to leave as quickly as possible, not to put any more folks in harm's way, but it seems that that is not the case, and we're right back at it when the commitment of the government in Iraq didn't really pan out. But I think, you know, we wish the very best of the next generation of servicemen and women who are there, who will be there, and who are supporting this war on terror.
Good. Now I want to get back to my city of Revere and my commissioner, Nick Poole. Thank you for your service again, Nick.
Thank you for your service.
By the way, I just want to correct you one thing. I was in World War II, not the Spanish-American War. Okay, I thought that.
Oh, it was the same era, wasn't it?
You know, you're right when I think of it. That's what happens when you get old. Your memory fades away.
There you go.
Think you are a real Vietnam veteran. You was in the Air Force. Tell us something about your service before we go into your birthdays.
Well, I think I'd like to talk about the birthdays.
Yeah.
Well, I was in the Air Force, joined at 18, shortly after graduating high school, as most of us do. And I worked in personnel, so it wasn't.
You're still working in personnel.
And I'm still working in personnel, so that's where I got my training. Basically, I think today every kid, every high school graduate should enter the military.
I agree with you. In every high school, and I do mean that. We didn't have it when I was a young man, but every high school should have an ROTC, and then it should be compulsory. Because the best people who are serving the ROTC are the ones that come out and become citizens of the community.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah, they do. It teaches you how to budget your money, how to take care of your clothes, how to take care of yourself, how to get along with other people, and you meet people from all over the country, as we all know, and it's a great opportunity for people who are recently out of college or high school. The high school people who don't prefer to go to college, then they should look into the military.
Right, and I want to thank you because you're the one that introduced me to the people who had the ROTC at the Revere High School. Major Bowker, I believe.
Major Bowker.
Sergeant Major Callender.
Callender.
Yeah, how did you meet them? Because they're terrific.
They came to work for Revere. I had an idea that a lot of the communities had the junior ROTC in the community, and their communities, and Revere didn't. And I went to see Dr. Dakin in order to propose the idea to him, and he says that he was working on it. He and Principal Garcia so that, and from there it moved forward, and Major Bowker and Sergeant Callender, who are doing a phenomenal job. They're two great people. They're doing a great program down there, and got a tremendous amount of kids participating.
Right, I would like to thank one school, if I may, Francisco, because of Revere, and that's the Paul Revere School, because every Veterans Day around November, they honor the veterans of the community from World War II right on up to the Persian Gulf War.
Absolutely.
Is that correct? Yep.
Right.
And they come us down, they honor us at the school. So to the Paul Revere School, thank you for your service.
Absolutely. And also on that same note, the JRGC, I'd like to thank the JRGC. They participated last May at Boston Common, where we placed 56,000 flags. Your kids from Revere were there in uniform, or a kind of relaxed uniform, but they were the greatest attitudes that I've seen in kids doing this together, and sense of teamwork and sense of community at an early age.
They do a tremendous job. They're all not only in our community, but like as you say, in other communities, participating wherever they can help out. And,
absolutely.
Major Bowker and Sergeant Callender on top of them constantly.
Right, and also I would like to thank the Pope Bonfiglio Funeral Home, because they started last year. We went down to Bourne Veterans Cemetery down in Bourne, and we put out 57,000 flags. That's how many are buried there.
Wow.
57,000 veterans. I mean, so Paul, thank you for your service. And by the way, they're going to do that again this year.
Excellent.
So if anybody out there would like to volunteer and come along, call the Bonfiglio Funeral Home, give him your name and telephone number, and I'm sure he'll be glad to help you.
Excellent.
Right, now I want to get into a few things about the birthday cake. That's what we came up here to honor you people for the birthday. Now, you kept your word. You said last year to me, you gave me the date, and you say, I'll come down again. Now, I'm 87. I'll be 87 next time around.
Okay.
I want you to make a commitment. If I'm still kicking next year, you still show up again.
I will show up, absolutely.
Okay, I may not remember where to go, but you'll show up, okay? And you too.
I'll have to show you the way.
Right, now, you know, we had a lot of problems with the veterans services. I don't mean your services.
Sure.
I mean the one from Washington. They had, like, some veterans never got the help they needed, and they died because they had to wait so long. Can you tell us if that's been changed since then?
You know, Morris, let me kind of pick up where you left off, and so let me explain. The federal government, when it comes to veterans federal programs such as the VA hospitals, and we are very fortunate
I go there
that we have here in Boston, the greater Boston area, you have about 4 major hospitals extending from Bedford all the way down to Brockton, Jamaica Plain, and West Roxbury. We also have various outpatient clinics. Now, the stories that you heard on the national news and some of the local news didn't really tell you the rest of the story, where Massachusetts and Boston's VA healthcare system is one of the top ones in the country. A lot of the scandals that you heard out west, Arizona and Maryland, Texas, and so forth, you did not hear those same relative stories here in the Boston area. As a matter of fact, folks from Boston traveled to those areas to implement our best practices that we have here. And I talk to veterans just as Nikki talks to veterans. And the veterans that use the VA healthcare system tell me that is by far one of the best cares that they have. And when the option is given to them to go elsewhere to avoid wait times, they prefer to spend that time to see the doctor. So what we have here in Boston is relatively lucky compared to the rest of the country.
And I must agree with you, because I tell you, I've been diagnosed with cancer. I've had it for 10 years. The minute they diagnosed me, within 2 weeks I have my treatment at the VA hospital in Jamaica Plain. I still go now and then for my blood tests and the chemo or whatever they want to call it, or radiation. But they took good care of me, and they took care of a lot of the people. The thing is, when I started to go, we have a group of 45, and we used to tell jokes to keep us smiling. No, that's the reason. But we had 45. I go now, there's only 12 of us left from the original 45.
Sure.
But we were given excellent treatment. So I want to thank especially Jamaica Plain and West Roxbury.
Sure.
There's also a good outpatient clinic at North Station, I believe.
Yes, on Causeway Street.
Causeway Street.
Yes.
They do an excellent job there.
as well as the vet centers for counseling of veterans, combat veterans, and their families, located at Dry Dock in Boston. And I definitely recommend using those services. And again, that's your federal VA at work. We also have other programs, such as the home-based program for our recently returned veterans of post 9/11, and that is a program for counseling of veterans and families provided by Mass General Hospital, and the home-based program by the Red Sox Foundation. I definitely recommend that. But when it comes to the VA, the best way to improve the VA is for veterans to sign up for the VA healthcare system, because the more veterans are part of that program, the more accountability you could bring to the program to request a better care of services, if that is the case that you were missing.
Okay, Nick,
I just want to take a moment to clarify
all the time you need.
one thing is the VA is a federal program. What we administer at the Department of Veterans Services, which Francisco and I are under their umbrella, is a state program. People come into the office and they want information from the VA, and we're unable to get the information unless the client is there or the veteran is there who has a claim. The VA will not give us any information because of HIPAA, the Privacy Act.
Let me get this, excuse me, let me get this straight. In other words, if you want to find out about me as a veteran, you call the VA federal, they will not help you?
They will not give me any information.
That don't make any sense.
Well, they don't recognize us. This is what I've been for the last 9 years complaining to the Department of Veterans Services in Boston that we have no access other than DD-214s from the archives here in Massachusetts, but we have no access to records. We cannot look up any records. People say, well, you can get it, and we do not have one client come in, and he was looking for hearing aids, and I told him, okay, sure, I'll sign you up for the VA hospital. Are you in the medical system? He said, no. He says, I just want a hearing aid. I says, okay, I'll sign you up. He says, oh, no. He says, I thought you had them in your drawer. We don't have hearing aids in our drawers.
I'd like to ask you this question, Nick, if I may. I get treatment at the VA. I get certain medication at the VA. And I come to you and I says, well, I want to go to Mass General, and you say, okay, it's state hospital, we'll take it. You call them and I say, I want to know what kind of medication Morris is getting. They will not give that to you?
Of course not.
Yeah.
So, in other words, I could be getting the wrong medication from the state than what the VA would be subscribing to me.
Well, we don't have any
I didn't know that.
medical folks on our staff. We don't have any psychiatrists or any of that stuff, but we do have the ability to refer. So that is, in a sense, our roles is beyond the public assistance program, which is Chapter 115, which is there for veteran, widows, widowers, and family members of veterans that qualify for the program that are on fixed incomes below the federal poverty level. That is, in a sense, our role. But beyond that, we could do a lot of referrals. We have a lot of contacts within and outside of the community to ensure that if somebody's in need and there's something that we can do, we'll definitely have the opportunity to assist them.
Right, now I see you in your office helping veterans almost every day I come by there. For homelessness, for monetary if they need it to get them started. That's all state, and nothing of that comes from the federal government then.
Well, it might come from the down to the state level, and then the state disperses it. I'm sure the state gets money from the federal government through the federal budget. But with our particular program, our communities are reimbursed 75% for any expenditures that we give out other than salaries or office expenditures.
Because when I used to go up to Cross Street in Boston, right next to City Hall, I would see in the wintertime veterans, where there's a Cross Street right next to it, they'd be sleeping on the grating down by there just to keep warm. And I don't think any veteran should be left out.
No, absolutely not. And that's one of the reasons why we have places like the New England Center for Homeless Veterans. 400 beds are there any night to allow a place for a veteran. And it's not just a bed. It's a program of transitioning. They have 3 meals a day that are served there every day. They have schooling programs. They have job training programs. They have a lot of internships, truck driving, culinary arts, and a lot of other things to really set up a veteran in the right way. They also do health care for homeless veterans in the center. They do dental. There's a plethora of programs. And so to the community members, if somebody wants to volunteer, serve a meal, let's not wait to Thanksgiving to, hey, let's head over to the shelter and feed a veteran. You could feed a veteran any day of the week. 3 times a day, there's 3 opportunities to go to the New England Center at 17 Court Street in downtown Boston to volunteer. If serving food is not your thing, and if maybe working on resume is, or having a conversation, or attending an AA meeting to provide support to a veteran, then that is an opportunity of change that you can participate in.
So if a veteran wants to get a hold of you, Francisco, let's say, give them a phone number they can reach you or an email.
We can be reached at City of Boston Department of Veteran Services. Our number is 617-241-VETS, which is 8387, 617-241-8387. We're located at 43 Hawkins Street in the City of Boston, in the 3rd floor, right behind the JFK Federal Building in downtown Boston.
Nick, this question is for you. Tell us, when the veterans come into your office, how you help them to begin with.
Well, that wasn't the original question, but
if they want to contact you.
Generally, they call the office, and we try to make an appointment. And the purpose of the appointment is to ensure that I'm in the office. And what happens is folks come into the office, and I'm on TV now, so obviously I'm not in the office, so I can't be in the office, and they get a little upset with me. Sometimes I'm not there, or I go visit veterans in their homes, and
That's nice.
they make an appointment, and generally I try to find out what their problem is. If it's a financial problem, we have a process that we go through for Chapter 115 recipients, and just to see if we can help them out, whatever way, whether it be, as you had said earlier, monetarily or health-wise. I pay for health programs for the seniors. Or the VA forms. The VA forms are a big thing. I mean, that's takes up most of my time, and people filing for aid and attendance. It's a big. Seems like the seniors are all looking for assistance, paying for someone to come in to assist their parents or fathers or their husbands to give them a break. So, but. It's a process that we go through, and depending on what the situation is, if you're filing for VA benefits, then we complete VA forms.
You also had a lot to do with having the high school, I believe, build some boxes so where you can discard the shredded flags.
Yeah, we wanted to put Lois Nielsen, who is, we call her the flag lady of the community. And she came in with an idea to have some boxes made in order to have old torn flags and flags that are not in proper condition to be discarded. So we came up with the idea. She wanted a mailbox, and the federal government wouldn't give us any mailboxes. So we had these boxes made at the regional high school and painted at the Revere High School. And it's to have your flags that, as I said, your old flags that are worn and not in good condition to be displayed, to retire them with the proper respect that they deserve.
Absolutely.
I understand you said you might, before we went on the show.
Yeah, and I have a flag for you. This afternoon I just took it off my flagpole at my home, and I replaced it with a fresh one, but I'll give that to you so it could be properly retired.
Yeah, we tried to get the Boy Scouts involved, the Girl Scouts, and the Cub Scouts and the Brownies, and try to get them involved in retiring the flags with the ceremony.
Yep.
Well, we had an Eagle Scout, Jeremy Orn. He headed the program. That was one of his badges, and he did a tremendous job, and we retired the colors with the respect, as I said, and the VFW the Mottola Post and the Beachmont VFW allowed us to use their facilities in order to perform the ceremony.
Excellent. Excellent. I'll tell you, it's a great sense of community taking part in a ceremony like that. And again, we should all be proud of flying the flag. And
Definitely, that's what we fought for.
But when the flag when it's torn or worn or the colors are not as bright, I think it's a good time to replace it and bring it to one of these boxes to retire. So thank you for that, because it's such a great service to the community and such a great service to the youth to know how to properly retire a flag.
I'd like to say one thing to you two veterans. I mentioned to a certain party that you were coming on the show, and this party said, I'm going to do something special for them. Now, he made a cake. This is from Liberto's Bakery.
Okay.
I want the people in Revere to see what Liberto did for you two. So I want each one of you to take a shot with the cake, holding it up so the camera can come in. So I'm going to give it to my Revere boss first. Just hold it up
with
a little.
Nikki there. Look at that.
Nick, can you zero in on that cake? Blow it up. There you go.
Wonderful job.
Right. And give it to your friend there.
Let's go over here. Look at that. Wow. This is, what a beaut. Are we going here?
Yep. Blow it up. Oh, that's a good shot, too. Very good,
Very nice.
Francisco.
Thank you.
You.
Thanks for the good friends at Lombardo's.
Right. Thank you, Dan. By the way, we hope to have Dan Liberto come on our show at some later date. He would have been on today, but he had another appointment. I would also like to thank Flavio, who wishes to remain anonymous.
Okay.
He's the one that gave us that cherry pie.
Excellent.
And we got a senior at the Senior Center, and I want to thank the Senior Center, a woman by the name of Margaret Walls. She gave us the cookies. So when you people leave here, you're going to be gaining about another 10, 12 pounds.
Thanks.
So
that's all we need. Thank you.
Right, yeah.
Okay, we got 6 minutes left. I only want 1 minute. Take a couple of minutes, two and a half, and then turn it over to him, and we'll wrap it up.
Absolutely. Morris, Nikki, thank you so much for the opportunity to come here to Revere. It's a great sense of community. It's a great sense to have this program here to talk to our veterans in our community. Remember, if you enjoy the freedoms that you have in this country, thank a veteran. Get involved. See how you could help out your neighbors, your friends, and there are so many veterans that walk among us that don't have a badge that say veteran, don't have a hat that say veteran, but nonetheless they are proud. They served our country, and they definitely are here, and we should honor them and their service. If anybody wants to get a hold of us on social media, you can like our Facebook page at Boston Vets. One of these days we're going to get you a Facebook page so that you too could connect with us, Morris. But thank you so much for the opportunity.
You want to start a war?
Well, you got the Google shirt on, so you're halfway there.
Okay. No, Google, this is a shirt that Google gave us because of the computers that they donated to the city of Revere.
And that is great.
And I'm sure they do that to a lot of other cities.
Absolutely. So, and we thank them for that. But Nikki, thank you once again, and thanks for all you do for our veterans. I know that as neighboring cities between East Boston, which is our border neighborhood, there's so many great interactions that we have between the Beachmont and Mottola Post and many other organizations here in Revere. So thank you for that, and great leadership of your mayor, who's also a veteran.
That's right, Dan Rizzo, a Navy veteran.
Yes.
Dan, thank you for your service, and we salute you.
I just want to say, first of all, this October is Columbus Day.
That's right.
And they've bestowed the honor to Francisco as the Chief Marshal.
Oh,
So I want to be known that Francisco is the Chief Marshal this year in East Boston. And they do a tremendous job, and I'm proud to have you as the Chief Marshal. They're doing a tremendous job, as they always do in East Boston. And that we next year we'll be having ours here in Revere, and we're doing it every other year here, so we don't conflict with East Boston. And but we really appreciate you, and we're very excited about your honor.
Oh, thank you.
You being honored
Thank
for
you.
that.
I look forward to seeing the community, and I also look forward to participating in assisting Revere with their planning next year. So it's a great opportunity to get involved once again. There's so many opportunities here in the communities to make a difference, get involved. Remember, if you don't get involved, you don't make a difference. You have no room to complain.
Exactly. And before we close, I like to do a few things. You know, we give a flag to a veteran if he served, but also a community veteran. You happen to be both. So, Francisco, I'm part of the City of Revere.
Thank you very much.
The Revere Veteran Service and the Revere Allied Veteran Council, a little gift for you.
Oh, thank you.
You, Nick, you're the one that gave me the flags to give to the veterans, so I'm going to return one for you. So, from the City of Revere, the Revere Veteran Service, and the Revere Allied Veterans Council.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We still have 3 minutes, so take a minute each. Just to say, by the way, just say, if you want to wish your family or mention their names, we'd love to hear from them.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'll always like to thank the support of my family. I also, too, recently got married in August.
Congratulations. Well, you're a busy man.
Wow.
There's a lot going on, but nonetheless, I always thank the support of my family, but more importantly, thank the support of my mayor, Mayor Martin Walsh, who in Boston cares so much about people, especially our veterans, their families, and all of their children and neighbors and all the sorts, and provides us with the support that we need to really accomplish our mission and have an impact in Boston and surrounding communities, to give me the flexibility to come to Revere and talk about the great things that we do here in Boston.
Good. Nick, take a minute.
Yes, I have to thank our Mayor, Dan Rizzo, and our City Council, who are so supportive of our program, the veterans programs, and anytime that we need anything, Ira Novoselsky and the other city councilors, they're right there anytime we need their assistance. And I just want to say thank you, not only from me, but from the community.
Thank you, and thank you. But before we close, you just got married. I've been married 65 years, and we just celebrated our anniversary. I said to my wife, what would you like for your 65th anniversary? She says, I love diamonds.
Yeah.
I went right out and bought her a deck of cards. You like that one?
Never a dull moment with you, Nate. Wow.
No, you mentioned...
Morris, thank you.
Okay. By the way, I want to thank the people of Revere, but especially I want to thank you, Francisco Urena, for coming on, and thank you for being the marshal. Nick Blewett, thank you for coming on again. Thank you
very much.
God bless the people of Revere. God bless you and our great country, the United States of America. And thank you all for listening. Until the next time, tune into the Revere Veterans and Community. You'll see some great people just like we have today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.